Hello, hello, hello. Hola, hola a todos. Bienvenidos. Welcome. Bienvenidos a un video nuevo. Welcome to a new video, to a new live stream. Today we are going to learn a popular Spanish phrase / idiom. And it's gonna be helpful if you want to talk about something that is up to date. It refers to something that is up to date. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. Also visit smlessons.com for more free Spanish lessons. You can read more about Spanish in general. You can download free crosswords in Spanish, and you can also donate directly to this channel. If you like what I do, please take a look at the links in the video description down below. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Kay, Beck, and Stella Sabatini. They're Cafecito members. They're awesome. Thank you so much for the support, for the coffee. I love coffee. And if you would like me to give you a shout out and just to read more about different perks, please take a look at the memberships on this channel. You only need to click on the join button down below. Okay. And give this video a like. That helps me a lot. If you like this video, of course. And if you have any questions, please feel free to use the live chat. And I hope I can answer your questions. And also, if you want to say hola, you can use the live chat for that as well. So, today is Friday, so thank God. So, let's look at the phrase, okay? So, the phrase of the day is estar al tanto. Estar al tanto. But also, you can use or you can say poner al tanto, okay? Poner al tanto. And those two phrases, estar al tanto and poner al tanto, are quite similar, but they're used in a different way, okay? Each one of them. And I'll let you know how they are, how they work in Spanish. Okay, let's look at the literal meaning and the actual meaning, okay? So, the literal meaning of estar al tanto, the first one, estar al tanto, is like we see down here. Well, before that, let's just talk about the literal meaning. Estar, just let me underline that. Estar means to be, okay? That's a Spanish verb and it means to be. Now, poner literally means to put, and that's another Spanish verb. Al is similar to the, okay? To the. And tanto means so much, okay? So this literally means to be / put to the so much. So that doesn't make any sense. What are we talking about? But just as any idiom, you can't just understand the literal translation, okay? So let's see what this phrase is all about. So, estar al tanto means to be up to date, or is similar to be up to date. And also it means to be aware, okay? Estar al tanto means to be up to date or to be aware. In general, you have the knowledge of something, okay? Now, poner al tanto is similar to fill in. Overall, we're talking about knowledge. We're talking about understanding, knowing, about something. Either you are up to date or someone is filling you in. Estar al tanto, to be up to date, to be aware. Poner al tanto means to fill in, okay? Excellent. So now let's look at some examples and let's see how this phrase works. The first one is estoy al tanto de la situación. Estoy al tanto de la situación. This means I am aware of the situation. So we're using here estar al tanto. And you can see it here. Obviously, this verb is conjugated. If you want to use this phrase, you gotta use or you gotta know the conjugation of the Spanish verb estar. Estar, okay? Estoy al tanto. I am aware. That's what that means. I am aware. De la situación. Oops. De la situación, of the situation. And I missed a period here. There you go. De la situación, of the situation. Estoy al tanto de la situación. I am aware of the situation. So if someone, is asking you, so do you know what happened? And you can say, estoy al tanto de la situación. I am aware of the situation, okay? So that is a very common thing to say in Spanish. So it's very helpful to know how to use this phrase. Okay, the next example is ponme al tanto. Ponme al tanto. Okay, this is another common phrase to say in Spanish, and this means fill me in. Okay, so maybe you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's all the the whole situation. You don't know the whole situation. Then you can say to someone, ponme al tanto. Fill me in. Ponme. And actually, this has to be all yellow because we're talking about poner al tanto, right? So, ponme al tanto. Okay, ponme al tanto means fill me in. This one here is similar to this. Me. Ponme al tanto. Fill me in. It's a reflexive pronoun. So we can talk about that in a different lesson. But yeah, as you can see here, we are using the phrase poner al tanto. Okay, so the second phrase that I told you about. And that is all about filling in. Okay, about, hey, just let me know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. Just tell me, okay? So it's a very, very good phrase to learn. Ponme al tanto, fill me in. And if you want to sound polite about it, you can say ponme al tanto, por favor. Fill me in, please, okay? It's a good idea to be polite. It's just good in general. Okay. Now, let's look at more examples using estar al tanto and poner al tanto. Okay, so the next example is Miguel no está al tanto de los cambios. Miguel no está al tanto de los cambios. This means Miguel is not up to date about the changes. Oh boy. Okay. So this is a you can see how this phrase is used in this sentence. Está al tanto means to be up to date, right? So in this case, we're talking about Miguel. Miguel is having an issue. And what is the issue? Miguel no está al tanto. Miguel is not up to date. Okay? So that's something really, really interesting that you can say, hey, like, I'm not up to date. You know, it's a common situation where you need to explain that you don't know what's going on. So this phrase is super helpful. Miguel no está al tanto. Miguel is not up to date. Okay, and de los cambios, about the changes, or acerca de los cambios. So either one works. De los cambios, about the changes, or acerca de los cambios, about the changes. Okay, so that's a great example, and you can see how this phrase is used in this particular situation. We can see Victor Rivera. We can see someone on the live chat. Hola, like button smashed. Awesome. Thank you so much, Victor. I appreciate it. And welcome. Brianna Lee. ¿Esta expresión se usa en todos los países? That's a great question. As far as I know, this phrase can be used in Latin America and also in Spain. Yeah, they're gonna understand you. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know every country in Latin America, or sometimes I know about a little bit about Spain and all of that, but this phrase is something that I can tell you that you're going to be understood in the majority of the Spanish world. So that's something good to know. Thank you for your question. Okay, so let's look at the next example, okay? Oops, that's not the example. Hay que ponerse al tanto y ver las noticias. Hay que ponerse al tanto y ver las noticias. This means we have to be up to date and watch the news. Okay, so nowadays, the world is changing so fast. A lot of things are going on. It's a good phrase to use. Poner al tanto is a good phrase to use because it's like timeless. You know, humans will always be doing something, you know? So yeah, this phrase is all about that. So let's break this down. Hay que is similar to we have to, or hay que, yeah, it's similar to we have to, and ponerse al tanto, be up to date. Again, this is quite interesting, right? Because we're not using estar al tanto, we are using ponerse al tanto, but we're using this verb and we're using also this reflexive pronoun. So that means that we are doing that to ourselves, okay? And we can talk about that in a different lesson. But in this situation, the approximate translation of this phrase is we have to be up to date. Hay que ponerse al tanto, okay? Y ver and watch. Ver in Spanish means to see or to watch. So that's something interesting to know. The news, las noticias, okay? So let's read the whole sentence again. You can repeat with me. Hay que ponerse al tanto y ver las noticias. We have to be up to date and watch the news. Okay, so far so good. In this situation, once again, it's very interesting that we are saying poner al tanto, and it means to be up to date in this particular situation. And that's because, as I said, we are using the reflexive pronoun, and also it's like saying doing something to ourselves, okay? It's very peculiar in Spanish, all about reflexive pronouns and also pronominal verbs, I believe that's the case, or reflexive verbs as well. So it's a whole different world. So we can talk about that in a different lesson. Okay, so let's move on. I love that Victor Rivera is using the upside down exclamation mark. I love it. I love it. And also Brianna Lee says, gracias, es muy útil. And well, you're welcome. You're welcome, my friend. I mean, as I said, I'm trying my best to answer all of your questions, guys. That's why I'm doing this live streaming thing. Okay, so let's look at 2 more examples, okay? And that will be it. That will be it. Because I know it's Friday. We need to take a break, right? Okay. So, the next example is, no estuve al tanto y perdí la oportunidad. No estuve al tanto y perdí la oportunidad. Oh boy. Okay, so this means I wasn't aware and I missed the chance. Okay, so we're talking about being aware, okay? And as I said at the beginning of this video, estar al tanto also means to be aware or to be up to date, okay? And let's break this down. Donessa McDonald, welcome. Muchísimas gracias por compartir. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for your kind message. Okay, so let's break this down. No estuve al tanto. That means I was not aware. Oops. I was not aware, or I wasn't aware. Y perdí, and I missed la oportunidad, the chance. Okay, so if you missed a chance to do something, you can use this phrase. This is a negative sentence, so it's completely correct if you want to say this in a negative situation. For example, in this situation, you were not aware, right? So that's completely fine. The meaning, just as long as you remember that the meaning of this phrase is to be aware, okay? To be aware, to be up to date. And also, poner al tanto means to fill in. And in some situations, it can also mean to be up to date, just like we saw a few minutes ago. Okay, so this is a perfect example if you want to say, you know, I'm so sad that I wasn't aware and I missed the chance. No estuve al tanto. Estoy muy triste. No estuve al tanto y perdí la oportunidad. Oh boy. Okay. Now let's see one more short example. Really short. Okay, so this is an expression, the whole thing. Okay, and I wanted to add it just as part of the lesson because this is a particular example when you need to keep, or when you want to say that you are going to keep an eye on something. Okay, so estaré al tanto. Estaré al tanto. This particular example means I'll keep an eye on it, okay? So if someone is asking you, hey, like, can you please tell me when the food is ready, you know? I don't know, maybe that's the situation. And you can say, estaré al tanto. I'll keep an eye on it, okay? In other words, you're saying, I'm going to be alert, I'm going to pay attention, so I'll keep an eye on it, okay? So you can say this expression and use it in that kind of situation when you need to keep an eye on something. And yeah, that's another meaning that I wanted to include. Okay, another meaning of this common phrase. And well, that's it, my friends. That is it. Let me know right now if you can, if you have any questions. So I hopefully can answer them all. all your questions. So do we have any questions? Maybe you if you want, you can share some examples as well. Just let me know. Or even you can tell me in Spanish, what are your plans for the weekend? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna watch some movies? What would you like to do? Or what's your plans? What are your plans? So in the meantime, I'm just gonna say that once again, the Spanish phrase of the day is estar al tanto or poner al tanto. Okay, and that means to be up to date, to be aware, and to fill in. Especially poner al tanto means to fill in. Okay, so now you know, pretty much you know two phrases, two different phrases. So, any questions? Okay. Victor Rivera, gracias. Gracias. Oh, okay. Message retracted. That's okay. That's okay. So yeah, guys, this phrase, or you can let me know. By the way, you can let me know any suggestions for future lessons. What would you like to talk about? What would you like to know? I know Spanish is a mysterious world sometimes. The feminine nouns and the masculine nouns and the whole grammatical gender. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I understand if you have, if it's challenging, because it is challenging. Yeah, if it's challenging for you, all of that, you can let me know. You can ask questions. You can suggest anything for future lessons. Okay, Victor Rivera says, gracias por la lección. De nada, Víctor. Me da mucho gusto de que te haya gustado. Okay, Mr. G-Man 92985. I want to know the meaning of meter and its uses. Okay, meter as in the measurement, metro. That's a good question. I could talk about that. Very quickly, meter means metro, and that is just a measurement unit, which I like more than feet and inches. So the metric system. Would you like to know more about the metric system in Spanish? Because that's a good topic, I gotta say. It's a good topic. Metros, centímetros, milímetros. Okay, I see. Okay, Mr. G-Man 92985 says meter el verbo. Okay. Meter. Meter is a good verb. It has some meanings. It depends on what you want to say. okay? In some situations, it could mean to put, also to fit, okay? Or to get, as in putting things inside somewhere, okay? For example, boxes into a room. You want to put boxes into your trunk or into a room. You can use the verb meter, okay? I can talk about that in a different lesson, but essentially when you use the verb meter, just think about the action of getting something, like for example, boxes into a room, okay? Or you can even yourself get into a room or into a place, okay? So that's the meaning of meter, but I can talk about that in a different video. It's an interesting and common Spanish verb. Thank you so much, Mr. Gman92985. Okay. I see. Victor Rivera says deportes, more so baseball, baseball, talk in Spanish, and ordering baseball talk in español, and ordering food at a Latin takeout place. Okay, so I'm gonna add that to the list. Thank you so much for the suggestions. That's interesting to talk about deportes, sports, like soccer. It's so interesting because in Spanish, what Americans call football, we call it fútbol americano. And also football in Spanish means soccer, okay? So it's sometimes people get confused by that, but in Spanish, soccer is football, and in America, I believe football, it means like it's not soccer. It's the American football, right? So that's another interesting thing. Absolutely, I can talk about sports in the Spanish world, and baseball. Okay, baseball. That's interesting. Yeah, for sure. Ordering food in Spanish is tricky. Is a bit tricky, but it's not something too difficult to do as long as you are polite, right? Because nobody likes a rude customer, right? So yeah, I can talk about that, ordering food. We can live stream all of that. So if you have more questions, I can hopefully answer them all. And thank you guys. Thank you so much for your suggestions. I like that. I like all of that. And I'm going to talk about that in future lessons. So stay tuned. And also remember, if you want to get notified every time I live stream, you need to activate that bell button so you can actually get notified, because otherwise you're gonna miss all the live streams. Victor Rivera says, gracias, soy mitad puertorriqueño. Mi español es bien malo. Well, Victor, I can tell your Spanish is pretty good. So that's good. I mean, it's good overall that you want to practice or learn. I will say practice because your Spanish is very good. So yeah, it's great. I like it. I love it. That's awesome. Okay, thank you guys for your messages, for your questions, for your interaction. Like, I like when we interact, when we talk about Spanish. And well, I wish you a great weekend. Remember to subscribe as well. Please give this video a like. That helps me a lot as well. And you can also remember that you can visit this awesome website that I'm just trying to find, smlessons.com. So you can read more about Spanish. You can download free crossword puzzles and so on. So yeah, you can do that. And well, Victor Rivera says, is it? I'm blushing. It's true. It's true. What I said, it's true. Your Spanish is great. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And, well, buen fin de semana, like Victor says. Pase un buen fin de semana y gracias otra vez. De nada, Victor. My pleasure. Okay, great. Take care. Bye-bye.